everybody, I'm Bailey. I'm here today to talk to you about my third birth experience. To be real with you guys, I might have to break this video up into two parts because it's a good one. It's a doozy. Yeah, we're good. We did it. This baby was due April 21st. My first baby came at 41 weeks on the dot. My second baby came at 41 and 3. And then my third baby came, well, you're about to find out when my third baby came. So I'm 40 weeks. I'm huge. I carry these children like bowling balls. No, sorry, like giant basketballs just right at the front of me. Fast forward 7 days and I'm now 41 weeks pregnant. I kind of got to this point where I would go to sleep and I would wonder, like, is this gonna happen? Am I gonna wake up in the middle of the day because I'm gonna start having these, surges? And nothing was happening. This is kind of the Ontario regulations for the midwives. At 41 weeks, they start to look into induction. I am completely against induction unless it's medically necessary, and I honestly feel as though there are a plethora of circumstances in which induction has been coined as medically necessary, even though it hasn't been medically necessary. I think I had gotten to a point where they wanted to take a look at the biophysical profile of the baby to make sure that, movements were okay, baby had enough fluid in there and all of that. So I went and I did an ultrasound and everything came back perfect. The scores were absolutely perfect. Baby was doing wonderfully. And then I did a non-stress test at 41 weeks and 2 days. And basically when you get a non-stress test done, they hook you up to a fetal monitor. So they put the fetal Doppler, they kind of wrap it around your stomach, and then you're hooked up to a machine and you lay there for about 20 minutes and they look at how baby's heart rate, like the fluctuations of baby's heart rate and how they correlate with baby's kicks. So you hold a little dial and you push on it every time you hear the baby, every time you feel the baby kicking. And they're looking for a positive correlation. So they want the baby's heart rate to increase every time the baby has a movement. I was doing the non-stress test. I completed the ultrasound and they were telling me you need to get this done every 2 days. This baby was moving non-stop and I could always feel the movements. I was always reassured the baby was doing fine. I was feeling great. They're like on me, okay, you have to get this done, you have to get that done, yada yada yada. It was a lot. And then people were calling, did you have the baby yet? And it's like, if I had the baby, you would know. I don't know, it doesn't sound as annoying as it really is when you're so pregnant and people are asking you and you don't know the answer. You're like, I wish I knew the answer because I would tell you, for goodness sakes. I'm 41 weeks and 6 days. I am extremely pregnant at this point. I go into the hospital. It's like crazy pandemic city over here. Show up for the ultrasound. The woman at the ultrasound says baby's doing so great. And then I'm leaving and they go, oh wait, let me give you your forms for when you come in tomorrow morning for your scheduled induction. And I'm like, I'm sorry. No, I didn't actually say that. I was taken aback. They told me I had a scheduled induction the following day at 42 weeks. This was the first I was hearing of this. So what happened was my midwife went and she just booked me in. And I don't know if another midwife, one of my other midwives, forgot to tell me, or forgot to communicate it with me, or forgot to tell me this is what to expect. Like, we're going to schedule you for an induction, or do you feel comfortable being scheduled for an induction in the hospital on this day? So I get home and my husband and I go for a walk to the park. We take the kids to the park and we're sitting there and we're talking, and I say, should I get an induction? Should I just show up tomorrow? Because at this point I'm feeling, I had been, if I'm being completely honest with you, I was starting to get stressed, and that's my own fault for allowing external, other people to get me, to put me in that state, because people were saying we need to get the baby out, we need to do this test, and it didn't feel like it, if I'm being honest, it didn't feel like it was because they genuinely cared about my well-being and my baby's well-being. It felt like they were I had heard from them multiple times, there are too many pregnant women right now and we can't keep up. We need you to have this baby. If you don't have this baby within this time frame, then we're not going to be able to be there, or we're not going to be able to help you. And it was just really, like, it felt like it needed to be on their timeline, and that was causing a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress for me. I remember sitting on a bench at the park with my husband at 41 and 6 and saying, you know, what do you think we should do? We decided we're going to push it to Friday, so I would be 42 and 2. And I kept saying, if we push it to Friday and I get an induction past 42 weeks pregnant, am I going to regret waiting that long? And I decided that the baby was going to come before Friday. I was like, no, I'm making this decision. I'm pushing the induction date. This baby is coming before Friday. I still couldn't get a hold of my midwife. So I went home. We put the boys to bed and I called the hospital. I gave them my name. I said, I'm just calling to let you know that I have an induction scheduled tomorrow morning and I won't be there. And the nurse sounded so taken aback, like, I'm pretty sure your midwife has to tell us that. I said, well, that's fine. I haven't been able to get a hold of my midwife. But regardless of what my midwife says, I'm just here to let you know that I will not be there for the scheduled induction. Thank you so much. Within 10 minutes, I got a call from my midwife. I had to be so bold in my convictions, you guys, because I knew in my heart what was right. And I had to just say to her, like, no, that's not happening. There was something about saying that to her and the hospital that felt so liberating. Finally, I was taking my birth into my own hands after feeling like it was just in someone else's hands for the longest time. And I don't know if it was the pandemic. The world was kind of crazy. It was like this weight had been lifted off of me mentally. I genuinely believe with every ounce of my being that that's what sent me into labor. It was like, I'm not stressed anymore. I'm not anxious anymore. I'm ready. And I'm going to share the rest in the next video. See you in the next one.